Okay, hi guys. I might give it another minute or two because I know there's people joining us fairly promptly. So just give it another minute and we'll see how many people we can get in. Okay, we'll kick off if that's okay. So just to go through the sort of procedure for the event and just outline the sort of the situation we find ourselves in. So just to welcome everybody to the election count and results for the TU Dublin SU elections for 2020. My name is Derek O'Brien. I'm the chairperson of the Electoral Commission of the Student Union, and I'm the chief returning officer. So what I'm going to do today is go through the results from the counts for the elections in Blanchardstown, Tallaght, City Campus, and then for the overall presidency of TU Dublin SU. So what I'm going to do is start with Blanchardstown, move on to Tallaght, onto City Campus, and then end with the overall presidency results. This is an unusual situation that we find ourselves in, so please be patient as we go through this. It is, I said, normally we would do this on a much more structured basis after each count, but we have it all at one. So again, please be patient and bear with us. And if you get sick of hearing me, you can always mute until we get to the important stuff for you. So before I start, I would just want to thank my colleagues on the Electoral Commission. This was an incredibly difficult process, and the work that went in by Owen and Irene and Pierre, I'm really grateful. And again, for our colleagues on the staff side, Maura and Saoirse, and in particular Eve, who I think is probably sick of digital electoral systems, but we are grateful for your contribution and hard work. So thank you for that. So without further ado, I will kick off, but just to let people know that the full results will be uploaded onto the TU Dublin SU website after this. Okay, so I'll start off with the Blanchardstown campus for a position of Clubs and Societies officer. There were 3 candidates: Ron, Enzo Corsini, and Owen Dowling. On the first count, Ron received 10 votes, Enzo Corsini received 61, and Owen Dowling received 77. Given that Owen Dowling had reached the quota of 74, Owen Dowling is deemed elected on the first stage. So Owen Dowling is the incoming Clubs and Societies officer for Blanchardstown campus. So well done, Owen. Again, with Blanchardstown campus for position of entertainments officer, we had a total vote of 150, a quota of 75. So the 3 candidates, Ron, Ellen McLaughlin, and Christine Sutton. Ron received 1 vote on the first count, Ellen McLaughlin received 88, and Christine Sutton received 61. So given that Ellen McLaughlin has reached the quota on the first count, Ellen McLaughlin is deemed elected and is the incoming entertainment officer in Blanchardstown. So well done, Ellen. We're now looking at the position of Blanchardstown campus Vice President Equality and Welfare, or Welfare and Equality, sorry. There were 155 votes, giving us a quota of 78. In this situation, we had 2 candidates, Ron and Pádraig Keane. On the first count, Ron received 13 and Pádraig Keane received 142. Given that Pádraig has exceeded the quota, Pádraig is deemed elected on the first count. So well done, Pádraig. Staying with Blanchardstown for the position of Deputy President, We had 157 votes. The quota is 79. We're looking at two candidates, the reopened or reopened nominations, and Luke Daly. On the first count, Ron received 23 votes and Luke Daly received 134 votes. Given that Luke has exceeded the quota, Luke is deemed elected on the first count. Well done, Luke, and I hope you enjoy the year ahead of you. Okay, we're just going to move on to Tallaght now. So we're starting off with, for the Tallaght campus, the position of clubs officer. We have a total valid vote of 387 votes and gives us a quota of 194. We have three candidates, Ron, Sophie Doolan, and Tricia Rafter. So on the first count, Ron received 7 votes. Sophie Doolan received 192 votes. And Tricia Rafter received 188 votes. On this, we move on to the second vote. We're not finished yet. It starts getting interesting. Reopen nomination, they are distributed. Of those, 2 votes were capable of being distributed. Sophie Doolan received 1 vote, giving her 193. And Tricia Rafter received 1 vote, giving her a total of 189. Sophie Doolan, despite not reaching the quota, is deemed elected because no other candidate can take over. So, Sophie Doolan, congratulations, well done, and I hope you have a good year ahead of you. For the position of communications officer in Tallaght campus, we had 382 votes, giving us a quota of 192. And we have the reopened nominations candidate, Ron, receiving 25 votes on the first count, and Anya Kane, the second candidate, receiving 357 votes. So well done, Anya. She's elected on the first count. So well done, and I hope you have a good year. Moving on and staying with Tallaght for the position of entertainment officer, we had 366 366 votes, and giving us a quota of 184. We have 2 candidates, Ron and Owen Carey. On the first count, Ron received 35 votes and Owen Carey received 331 votes. Given that Owen has exceeded the quota, Owen is deemed elected on the first count. So well done, Owen. Again, staying with Tallaght for the position of societies officer, we have 2 candidates. The total valid poll was 374 votes, giving us a quota of 188. On the first count, Ron received 14 votes and Dylan Quigley received 360 votes. Dylan, having exceeded the quota, is deemed elected on the first count. Congratulations, Dylan. And this is for the first of the sabbatical posts in Tallaght. So for position of Vice President for Education, total valid poll of 404, giving us a quota of 203. We're looking at a situation where we have 2 candidates, Ron and Sean Farrell. So on the first count, Ron received 21 votes and Sean Farrell received 383. Sean, having exceeded the quota, is deemed elected on the first count. So well done, Sean. For the next post, again, a sabbatical, it's Vice President for Welfare and Equality. We had 375 votes, giving us a quota of 188. We're looking at reopened nominations receiving 31 votes on the first count, and Leslie Barr receiving 343 votes. So Leslie is deemed elected, having exceeded the quota on the first count. So well done, Leslie. And the final election in Tallaght is for the position of Deputy President, and we're looking at a total valid poll of 419 votes, giving us a quota of 210. Ron, or reopened nominations, received 14 votes on the first count, and Lee Bennett received 405 votes on the first count. So Lee, having exceeded the quota on the first count, is deemed elected. Congratulations, Lee. I'm now moving on to the count for City Campus. So the first position is for City Campus Vice President for Education. We have a total valid poll of 622 votes, 622, giving us a quota of 312. We have two candidates. The first, Ron, reopen nominations. The second, Hamza Jama. So in the first count, reopen nominations, Ron received 51 votes and Hamza received 571 votes. So Hamza Jama is deemed elected, having exceeded the quota on the first count. Well done, Hamza, and I hope you have a great year. The second post in City Campus is for Vice President, Events and Engagement. We had a total valid poll of 599 votes. We had two candidates, Ron and Mark O'Donnell. On the first count, Ron, reopen nominations, received 49 votes, 49. And Mark O'Donnell received 550 votes, 550. Given that Mark has exceeded the quota of 300 on the first count, he's deemed elected. Congratulations, Mark. Again, on City Campus, staying with the position of Vice President, Welfare and Equality, we're looking at a total valid poll of 615, giving us a quota of 308. We have two candidates, Ron, or reopen nominations, and Fionn Collins. So in the first count, reopen nominations received 79 votes, 79. And Fionn Collins received 536 votes. Having exceeded the quota, Fionn is deemed elected on the first count. Well done, Fionn. And for the remaining post on City Campus, the position of Deputy President, we have a total valid poll of 637 votes, giving us a quota of 319. Two candidates, Ron and Moya Brown. So Ron, on the first count, received 57 votes, 5-7. And Moya Brown received 580. So Moya is deemed elected on the first count. Congratulations, Moya. Well done. I'm moving on now to the position of TU Dublin SU President. We have a total valid poll of 1,270, 1270, giving us a quota of 636. We have three candidates for the position. Reopen nominations, Ron, Rebecca Gorman, and Amy Keating. On the first count, reopen nominations, Ron received 26 votes, 2-6. Rebecca Gorman received 627 votes on the first count, 627. And Amy Keating received 617 votes, 617. I move to eliminate Ron as a candidate and distribute their votes. So in the second count, 20 votes were not capable of being distributed. That gives us 6 votes that are distributed. Rebecca Gorman gets 5 of those and Amy gets 1, giving at the end of the second count the following result. Rebecca Gorman standing at 600. I move to have Rebecca Gorman deemed elected despite not reaching the quota, as no other candidate can actually take the place. So Amy, very sorry, very closely run race, but well done and congratulations to Rebecca. So Rebecca Gorman is the incoming president of TU Dublin SU for 2020-21. Again, I'd like to thank all the candidates for amazing work and great camaraderie and solidarity in a very, very difficult situation. You really should be very, very proud of yourself. My colleagues and I in the Electoral Commission, we were nothing but impressed with the commitment shown by all the candidates. It really, really was impressive to see in such difficult circumstances. I hope you had a relatively good 15 to 16 minutes of a count. Again, a very unusual situation we find ourselves in. There's a chance we'll be looking at more of this, I guess, come September. So unless there's any questions at this stage, I propose to conclude the count. Okay, so guys, it was great. Look, I really do want to thank people for their contribution over the last number of weeks. We're very aware how difficult it's been. You've done amazing work. So well done to everybody, all the candidates. It was an amazing contribution. Well done, and TU Dublin SU is stronger for your work. Thank you.